Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. We've got more to talk about today with regards to the snow risk and the cold spell, but first I thought I'd quickly talk about the significant snowfall which occurred yesterday and through to this morning across parts of Ireland and then also into southwest England and just about parts of Wales as well. Now, I talked about this threat on my last video, but essentially we saw a significant frontal band push through, dropped a large amount of snow in this area. However, the population is not super dense, so we haven't had too many reports. But this snow band then pivoted into parts of southwest and southern England, and there we saw some pretty significant snowfall. The highest total I've seen being 24 centimeters across the higher ground of parts of Cornwall. So that's quite a lot of snow, to be honest. Definitely pretty significant, almost a foot of snow. But even into more populated areas for further inland, we saw kind of 10 centimeters, 5 centimeters, and a couple centimeters there around Southampton. So that was yesterday, but we have more to talk about today. And if you look on the radar, you can see we've got very messy picture with lots of snow showers around and also some longer spells of snow which could be causing some disruption potentially and some fairly significant totals. And we'll start off by looking at this weather graphic that I made. This is for Thursday to Friday, kind of one of the last snow risks we're really going to have. And you can see anywhere in white is at risk of seeing falling snow. There's always a chance somewhere outside of this zone sees falling snow, and there's always also the chance that places inside this risk don't see falling snow. This is just a rough guideline of the general locations which are at risk. We then have the blue zone. We've got 1 to 3 centimeters of snow expected, or generally kind of the rough area. You can see that goes from parts of Ireland into Northern Ireland, a large part of Wales, the Midlands, even into parts of southern England there, parts of northwest England, and then into parts of western and northern Scotland. The general zone where we're seeing 3 to 5, a somewhat similar region, Northern Ireland into Ireland, Scotland, and parts of northwest England into the Midlands and North Wales. Now, the two most significant zones that we're looking at are across parts of northern and western Scotland, and then into parts of northwest England and the Midlands, and that is for basically now into tomorrow morning. And that is because we've got kind of the final push of those northerly winds. You can see that on the water vapor satellite imagery there. We've got this northerly kind of coming in, and actually it's changed to a bit of a northwesterly, and we're starting to see some pretty strong winds developing, gusts to around 40 to 50 miles an hour in this zone, and that's funneling into parts of the Irish Sea, causing convergence, and we're actually starting to see showers developing. And already you can see just across parts of Scotland we've got a low spinning around here, and that's leading to vertical motion, and combined with the instability and moisture, we've got fairly significant snow showers developing, as you can see on the satellite, which you can see translates very well to the radar. Continued snow showers across parts of northern Scotland, as we've had for basically the last week, hence further significant snow there. I'm not sure what the models are showing. Let's see on this one. But you can see we've already got very significant snowfall there. Many centimeters have fallen, but that's going to continue to increase during this evening and into tomorrow, probably another 5 to 10 centimeters there. Now, we're actually starting to see a more focused kind of feature start to develop out of these snow showers, and that's partly due to the convergence of the winds due to the terrain in the Irish Sea, causes a kind of elongated convergence zone, and that can focus some of the shower activity. But that's also because we've starting to see this disturbance at the upper levels. This is the 500 millibar chart on the GFS, and you can see there's our upper low, but note the slight kind of bend in the isobars and slight enhancement of the flow just across parts of northwest Scotland, and that indicates the slightly kind of very subtle but present feature, a small trough which is moving southeastwards, and that's number one what's driving those slightly stronger winds. But also the vertical motion has allowed a more kind of focused area of shower activity to develop, and as latent heat release occurs with those showers through the evening, we're likely to see a more defined feature start to develop, in my opinion. And that just becomes even more present when we look at the 500 millibar chart through midnight. And you can see what starts to happen is we actually get a pretty decent feature starting to emerge. Strong northwesterly winds funneling through the Irish Sea. And then by 6 o'clock, there is our kind of the strongest moment of this feature, enhancement of the flow right across northwest England, and so we can generally expect that kind of translating further south with the strongest shower activity. However, we are already starting to see snow showers and also rain showers as well develop, and that is due to that kind of lake or sea effect snow or sea effect precipitation, which is essentially what's been causing the showers across Scotland and Northern Ireland, and that's the difference in temperature between the warmer ocean and the cold up air leads to instability. But because of the convergence that we're starting to get into this zone because of the terrain, that's really started to focus the vertical motion across parts of northwest England. And so for the last few hours, we're starting to see these showers moving in fairly continuously. As you can see there, they just don't really stop, and new ones start to develop behind the kind of the main round, as you can see. However, there are a few complicating factors in terms of the snow risk. The main one is the precipitation type, and that's because as those winds strengthen, they take the milder kind of coastal ocean air mass and bring it inland. And so for some areas such as Liverpool, populated areas in that kind of region, just a few miles inland from the coast, are unfortunately seeing more of a wintry mix. Through the night time, the temperatures will decrease slightly, so we might see that boundary shift slightly further in kind of closer to the coast, so probably an increase in the snow risk overnight, but as the winds strengthen, that might counterbalance that a bit. However, anyone inland of that zone and also across high ground, we are starting to see that snow risk increased, and I've already seen some fairly nice videos coming out of Manchester of heavy snow there, and so accumulations will begin to kind of occur as we go through the next few hours. So essentially from now onwards, across parts of northwest England and into the Midlands as well, you can see Stoke-on-Trent, down the line Derby, Nottingham, Birmingham, those kind of regions, also North Wales, the snow risk is really increasing in that region. So that's already starting to occur, but like I said, the main disturbance that we're looking out for is still over here, and that's moving slowly to the southeast. If we play through that loop, you can see exactly what I mean. However, it is bringing some significant snowfall to Northern Ireland. Heavy showers associated with that band possibly could bring a few centimetres, even to Belfast, slightly low-lying perhaps. Also a snow risk to parts of northwest England and western Scotland, and then continued snow showers across northwest Ireland. But I think really the focus is going to be across the Midlands into northwest England, due to the fact that area is more populated. But also, I really think come kind of 6 a.m. tomorrow, you've got that disturbance, and things are really going to be coming together. The upper air support is there, and we've got the instability arising from the difference in temperature here, that convergence, and so I think things are coming together. We're probably going to see significant showers, and I mean, if it's this strong here, it will probably weaken for a time and then gain strength. But I do think we're going to see a fairly significant snow event overnight in that region. However, you may also notice that on the map I made here, we've got that peak across parts of northwest England and the Midlands, but also it extends fairly far inland, and that's because I think these showers in this case will just about be strong enough to bring that snow threat even into parts of the Midlands and just about into southern England. Even parts of North London might receive a dusting by tomorrow morning, and that goes back to the fact that this disturbance does not just magically stop here, it translates all the way through, and you can see if I play that through to 9 o'clock, where's it gone? You can see it's then translated into the Midlands, and I think the snow risk will be associated with that. The original uptick in showers then translates to the southeast, and I also think we could see a small low pressure centre developing, a very local one. The models probably aren't going to pick that up. In terms of what this might look like, I've been talking about this threat for almost, I think, 3 or 4 days now, but the models were not really interested in it too much. That's now changed, and the latest 12 o'clock at Rome model, which is a French high resolution model, essentially showed this risk, I think, fairly reasonably as a scenario kind of to play out. Now, don't take this literally, because especially when you've got showers and small low pressures, it's very hard to know exactly what's going to happen. But this is a fairly plausible scenario that we get those continued snow showers and longer spells of snow across northwest England there, with probably a peak somewhere in this region. We can't say exactly where, but I think looking on the map, somewhere kind of between Sheffield, Leeds, Stoke-on-Trent, Manchester, somewhere around here, could see, as this model suggests, as much as 10 centimetres. I kind of inclined to roughly agree with that, but also notice how the snow risk extends into parts of Essex and southeast England. I think that's maybe pushing it, but if we do get a proper low pressure centre developing, which this does seem to suggest, then you kind of get a slight positive feedback loop, because if you get a surface low, there's more vertical motion and those showers can sustain themselves for longer. So I do want to stress it's not this band here which is likely to become the disturbance, it's the next one here, and that's got the upper air support, and then as it passes through the Irish Sea, we're going to get the convergence and the differential temperatures enhancing that, and so I think we could have a kind of zone of snow moving into this region during tomorrow morning. Timings, I'm not too sure, we can see what the model says, but generally between maybe 6 and 10 a.m. Sorry, we need precipitation type here. So yeah, you can see this occurs kind of 1 a.m. And into around kind of 6 a.m. further south, as you can see there. But I mean, even the Arome, if you look at the radar for now, this is currently 5:50. This is what it's showing for 6 o'clock. Notice how few showers it has in reality. So it's possible, like I said, the models always underdo this, and it's possible that's happening again. So I'm fairly optimistic for northwest England into the Midlands that we are going to see this translate into a fairly decent snow event for a fairly significant region. And also it's a fairly populated region as well. You can see all the cities and towns on this map. So a fair few number of people may see falling snow. Now I do want to stress, I don't think the accumulations are going to be that significant if the snow makes it into this region. We're probably looking at a dusting to maybe a couple centimeters, but of course, as my graphic suggested, this region here is potentially looking at some significant accumulation, and somewhere in this zone, we can't quite say where, but somewhere is likely to see 5, even 10 centimeters of snow. So that's looking pretty decent in terms of the snow risk, but of course, things are going to come to an end, and if we take a look at the pattern on this chart, by kind of Friday during the day, that disturbance passes to the kind of southeast, and then the first sign of those southwesterlies returns. And so by Friday and then into Saturday, things will be turning milder, also a lot stormier, but generally a massive pattern change coming up Friday into Saturday, and I'm going to do a full video on that. There you go, the chart's now loading. You can see that big low pushing in during the weekend, and that will be the video for tomorrow. So thank you very much for watching. Continued risk of snow, some significant across a fairly decent part of the UK. The main ones to watch is northern and western Scotland, parts of Northern Ireland, and then of course northwest England into parts of the Midlands and Wales tonight into tomorrow. The snow threat on the whole will be kind of finished by 12, maybe apart from northern Scotland, but from tonight into kind of tomorrow morning, it's looking good. Anyway, thank you very much for watching and have a great day. Bye bye.